Four teams in particular have dominated the 2024 Formula 1 season, with that being McLaren, Ferrari, Red Bull and Mercedes when it comes to race wins. We have 3 races with 1 sprint left on circuits of all drastically different characteristics, starting from Las Vegas to Qatar and finally to Abu Dhabi. And with the last 6 races painting the performance levels of each team and depending on track demands and car characteristics, we can go over who could be the potential fastest and who could be the slowest between the top 4 and whether we really have a championship battle base off of which car is fastest in which race. So here, in no particular order, is my take on the fastest and slowest cars for the last 3 races of the 2024 Formula 1 season. The first track to which we arrive in a couple of weeks' time is Las Vegas. Baku and Las Vegas are mostly similar in terms of speed and corner profiles. We have those long straights combined with near similar 90-degree and long medium speed corners. Downforce-wise, teams will opt for low downforce, prioritizing top speed for the benefit of both attack and defense around sectors 1 and 3. Downforce will aid in sector 2, but the car will be a sitting duck on the strips back straight. Track temperatures at Vegas will play a key part for race strategy, as we saw tyre degradation being an issue with graining being present in the cooler conditions. I believe Ferrari will have the fastest car around the Sin City, because the SF24 has incredible straight line speed and the SF24 has the best traction out of the top 4 teams around those low speed 90-degree corners, combined with the SF24's ability to keep its tyres in check. Leclerc in particular, I believe, will enjoy a great weekend. For some reason, he loves street circuits, and the car's strengths under braking and acceleration have complemented his driving style. McLaren and Red Bull, in my estimations, will be in the battle for the second fastest spot. The Red Bull RB20, following the Austin upgrades, has seen a general improvement in pace, but still lacks a little performance to the SF24 when it comes to striking a balance between top speed and downforce. McLaren, on the other hand, will most probably introduce a new low downforce rear wing at Vegas, similar to its Brazil plans following recent events surrounding the mini DRS trick, and might struggle a bit to match Ferrari in terms of aerodynamic efficiency. Mercedes will have the 4th fastest car here, closely following McLaren and Red Bull. The W15 has performed well around low drag circuits, Azerbaijan to quote a recent Grand Prix, but they have not had the best of times landing the W15 in its sweet spot when a compromise is required between downforce and drag. The race following up Las Vegas takes us to Qatar, another unique circuit which consists of high-speed corners combined with considerable track temperatures. Tyre degradation might again be an issue this year. Last season, we saw how the FIA mandated a 3-stop strategy, not allowing teams to push the limits with their one strategical choices for the sake of how hot it was. Track limits is a huge thing around the Lusail circuit. Qualifying laps execution matters most. Conservation of tyres around the 3 sectors will be crucial for the perfect lap and will dictate the car's overall race pace as well. Downforce-wise, every team will opt for their max downforce configurations, with tyre preservation taking number 1 priority. Driver cooling will be a talked-up point here, as last year's race was a nightmare for the drivers. Extra cooling, which will potentially affect the car's performance directly. I believe Ferrari and McLaren will have 2 cars pretty much on equal performance terms. McLaren was super strong around high-speed corners last year. They have that advantage this season as well. But the MCL38 in general is a better car now compared to its 23's predecessor. Ferrari since Austin have proved that the SF24 has the best tyre degradation out of the top 4 teams and has par high-speed performance. But tyre degradation gives Ferrari the upper hand in terms of strategy, which makes it advantage Ferrari. Red Bull will have a closely followed 3rd fastest car. The RB20 has showed great high-speed prowess around Austin's Sector 1 on Verstappen's hands, which will become very handy at Qatar. But the car suffers a little more tyre degradation compared to its competition, which could potentially hurt them in race trim. Mercedes will have the 4th fastest car at Qatar, but it will be very close with Red Bull, as it is only one type of corner speed the W15 has to deal with setup-wise, but high temperatures could lead to the W15 suffering from high tyre degradation similar to Red Bull. Mercedes, recently also suffering from cockpit overheating issues of recent, could be a potential problem at Qatar. Finally, the season finale will take us to Abu Dhabi, the Yas Marina circuit. This circuit is a total mix-up of everything, which actually does not have too much spice to it. Sectors 1 and 2 of the circuit are dominated by straight-line speed, while Sector 3 consists of a combination of slow 90-degree to medium speed corners. The downforce compromise will play a key factor in this race, as teams have the option of going for either medium to low downforce or medium to high downforce, or to straight up a medium downforce configuration. Depends on the area of circuit the team is targeting for lap time gains. The configuration teams generally opt for is the medium to high downforce setup. I believe the top four will go for slight variations this season. Ferrari and McLaren will be in a tight fight for the fastest spot around Abu Dhabi, considering the Yas Marina circuit's characteristics. Ferrari will be strong around the first two sectors, while McLaren will play to their strength and secure pace gains around Sector 3. I believe this will be the case, as the Ferrari SF24 is an aerodynamically efficient car that naturally packed an advantage in the first two sectors, while the MCL38 is the best around corners, to which McLaren will work towards. This puts both teams on equal footing, and the drivers will have to make the difference with their respective packages. Red Bull will have a closely followed third fastest alongside Mercedes, as I believe the W15 and RB20 will be fighting for the third fastest spot on the grid. So with my predictions coming, I have one race going fully to Ferrari, while two races ending with a tie between Ferrari and McLaren. McLaren lead the constructors currently, but not by much, as Ferrari pursuit in second and Red Bull are third in the championship. Current predictions say Red Bull are out of the fight, but it will be a war between Ferrari and McLaren at Abu Dhabi for the championship, according to my predictions. Not to mention Max Verstappen has his championship to defend, which mathematically is still up for grabs. But unless Max Verstappen gets 2 DNFs and Norris at the same time scores 2 wins, Max has the championship wrapped up and probably has the chance to seal it at the upcoming Las Vegas Grand Prix if he finishes 60 points ahead of Norris in the standings. And that gives him the freedom to drive hard in these three races, which could throw some spanners at Ferrari and McLaren in their race for the Constructors' Championship. I believe that's how the top four will perform in the last three races of the 2024 season. Some might, in fact, as I pointed out earlier with McLaren, these teams just might bring some upgrades not to improve their cars now, but to test out their paths for 2025. And I'm reiterating one fact again. It's not just the cars that determine the outcome of these races. The drivers now are a huge factor, as Max demonstrated his prowess at Brazil last weekend. Both Ferrari and McLaren have a great duo of drivers, and throwing Max Verstappen between them just takes the competition to the next level. That makes these final three races of the season a battlefield which will for sure provide us with epic racing. But what do you guys think? Do you think I got it wrong in any spots? What do you guys think will be the pecking order from now onwards? I'd like to see your predictions in the comments below. And on your way down, don't forget to subscribe to the channel to get notified of our future uploads, to keep yourselves up to date about the 2024 and 2025 Formula 1 seasons.